Hi, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Thank you. Actually listening to Tom just now, I have some questions. Sorry, I'm Ginny Marcel Kerslake. I'm a West Whiteland resident. I live at 103 Showen Road in Exton. I know that he asked this, but he never really got an answer, and I'm going to ask it another way. And before I do, I just like to say, this is this whole thing is curious to me. Some of you are aware that I had it was like pulling teeth this summer to get a full response to a right to know. So I can appreciate some of what Tom has gone through here. But he was referring to his most recent request where he had a very specific right to know request for the emails. He specified emails between Teresa Santalucia and Beth Jones. And what he got back was texts. So what I want to know, so that the first thing he got back was text. He didn't get any emails, but he got text, and it went above and beyond, in Pam's words, what he asked for. But it wasn't, because it was text. So how is it, and maybe Jennifer, you can answer this, why did he get texts and not emails?
Because some of the members of the board opted to be more transparent than was requested of them.
This is not, no, sorry, I'll clarify. I'm not talking about his first one. I'm talking about his most recent one, where he specifically asked for text messages between certain dates, between Teresa Santalucia and Beth Jones, emails. And he got back text messages only. Why did he not get emails?
He did get the email back, and he also got the text messages that Teresa chose to produce to him in an effort to be transparent about what had happened.
But he did not get the emails. He had to come back and ask for the emails twice to get that email that he was asking for. The response he got from your office. And this is not something that you can put on the IT consultant. The original response, Jennifer, that he got from you to that request was text messages. There was no email message. We're talking about the one that was he's referring to the last one when he was asking that.
Jenny, we will take back this and we'll discuss in an executive session.
Okay, but I would like to, but Raj, this is a clear thing. He asked for emails. It was very specific, and Jennifer's office gave him back texts. Okay, and then so my other question is, he talked about wanting this email and being told that it didn't exist. So previously he was told it didn't exist, and that Beth Jones had told Teresa by conversation, not by email, that she was not allowed to just authorize this as a single supervisor. So where did that come from? Like, Beth, did that story of a conversation come from you, or did it come from Teresa? Like, where did that come from?
I had no knowledge of the email.
No, Raj, I'm not asking you. It didn't come from you. This is a question for Beth or Teresa or Jennifer.
So, Jenny, without the exact email or response that Ms. Keller provided to Mr. Casey, I don't want to speak specifically to that, but I can say that there was a lot of information flowing during the end of December and beginning of January. Phone calls, text, and emails, as was evident in the right to know response that was provided to Mr. Casey. And so at some point I may have said that I had a conversation with Teresa about it, because I did have a conversation. The whole thing started with a phone call conversation. So we did have a phone call conversation about it.
Okay, I would, it's curious that you say that there was a lot.
And then I followed up, and then Ginny, I followed up subsequently in emails.
Okay, because in the email, it sounded like that was the first time that you alerted, but I will say I am surprised by you saying that there was a lot of emails and texts going around, because I got the impression from what Tom Casey said that he really didn't get a whole lot. But I will leave that at, it sounds like the board is going to discuss this further. So I just like to say as a resident, this does concern me. My final is Teresa. I'm curious how after 4 years as a township supervisor, you would think that one single supervisor could authorize a payment like this, and that and that the board didn't have to vote on this use of taxpayers' dollars. Did you really think there was only one supervisor who could do this?
I actually did. I actually did think that it could be done that way, yes.
Okay. Are we having a full audit, as was suggested, of the township? I'm not sure where the supervisors are on that, but it seems to me that this is another example of how this would be warranted.
So we are looking into it. Just it's being an audit time. A lot of audit firms are already engaged in other sites. So we are trying to get that process done. So we are
Okay.
moving forward with.
All right.
And Ginny,
I think
as
it's
a
just
governmental entity, we have an annual audit, independent audit done every year. We had one done for last year. We started the process for this year. So that is underway with a new audit firm.
Sure. I know. I understand that. This is something that goes beyond that. And I understand that it's not an unusual thing when townships change management like this. And I know it was discussed and compared to those regular audits. And so, yeah, I think it's worthwhile to spend taxpayers' dollars on having an audit, a full audit like this done on processes and everything, to find out ways that, to find things, but also to find out ways that we can do things better. So thank you. That's all I have.